Hey guys, welcome to the Silver Report Uncut, hosted by Iron Grip Profits. Be sure to subscribe here on this channel, Iron Grip Profits. This is where the show will be hosted for now. So come on over. Thank you for joining us here. Let's talk about some of these devastating economic numbers. Now, first off, many Americans right now, they're struggling. You're not alone. There's millions of other Americans in the exact same boat. The cost of living has become extremely oppressive, and there's a tremendous amount of financial stress moving to the banking system and on U.S. families. So the Fed, they've chosen to fight inflation. That's what they are saying this is. They're aggressively hiking interest rates. It is causing a major strain on the money supply. They're trying to dampen demand. And this means the banks are facing trouble, the people are facing trouble, because everyone has less access to easy credit. The money supply is actually shrinking. The banking system, it's been thrown into a state of chaos, and we're witnessing all of these layoffs moving through, unlike anything we've seen during the Great Recession. There was a recent survey, and it showed that 44% of Americans actually work more than one job. So 44% of Americans work a second job. 13% increase relative to what we saw in the last administration. That's from the Lending Club report. And the increase, it's highlighted by a survey from Flex Jobs. It showed 69% of employed professionals either have a side job or they want one. This is the new American dream. Work your entire life away. And it points to more than 60% of the population is living paycheck to paycheck in another survey. The Lending Club report, it revealed 62% of Americans, including 48% of high-income consumers, were living paycheck to paycheck in February, up 2% from the prior month. All right, so one of the more disturbing stories going on right now happens to be what's going on in East Palestine, Ohio. If you don't recall, there were some problems with the water supply not too long ago. Well, I guess they told us there's no problem with the water supply. But a train derailed, it dumped a bunch of chemicals, and they were going out to test whether it's safe or not. The officials went out, and what they said was 15 people in a team for the Agency of Toxic Substances and Disease Registry. They reported symptoms like sore throat, headaches, coughing, nausea. These symptoms, they noted, were consistent with the reports from some of the residents that lived there and first responders who the team was surveying to assess the potential health effects of their exposure to these chemicals, released on February 3rd. So following this, they said that the team members reported the symptoms to the federal safety officers. And symptoms, they resolved for most team members late in the same afternoon, and everyone resumed to work on the survey data collection within 24 hours. The impacted team members have not reported ongoing health effects. They added that the survey collection process started back in mid-February and will end in March 31st. And once completed, the staff will analyze the data and provide it to the state health officials in Ohio and Pennsylvania. The FEMA and EPA teams remain on the ground to support response efforts. You know, what are the long-term effects of this? It's interesting that they put in their report that they recovered so quickly within a short amount of hours and returned even to work. They're really trying to downplay it. And this is exactly what they do when there is a real crisis. We bring this up all the time. If it was a real crisis, they wouldn't tell you. They would lie. They would try to keep you calm, as they have always done until recently. So news of these employees' illnesses follows the Department of Justice's filing of a lawsuit on March 31st against Norfolk Southern, seeking to hold the railroad company accountable for, quote, unlawfully polluting the nation's waterways through toxic derailment. And when a Norfolk Southern train derailed last month in East Palestine, Ohio, it released these toxic chemicals into the air, soil, and water. It endangered the health and safety of people in the surrounding communities. He said in a statement, quote, with this complaint, the Justice Department and the EPA are acting to pursue justice for the residents of East Palestine and ensure that Norfolk Southern carries the financial burden for the harm it has caused and continues to inflict on the community. I thank you guys. Be sure to subscribe for more content like this. As always, stay free. You know, it's my enemies that did this for me. You know, the people, they put you down. There are many people in this world who don't want to see you strong. They don't want to see people support you. They want to break you down. But the way you respond to this is very important. I was homeless at 14 years old. I actually had a lot of people trying to stop me from succeeding because they wanted me for themselves. They didn't want me to shine or to be a man, to be independent. I've learned something through all of this, and it has been my greatest enemies that have fueled me. They've lit a fire inside of me. But not allowing them to crush you, to make you worthless. In fact, become of so much worth that they look foolish to deny it. It's been such a motivation because many times I used destructive things in my life when I had times of sadness that I couldn't deal with. This has become an addiction for me, but it's one that builds me. So every time enemies come to destroy me, to crush me, to weaken me, I become stronger and stronger. I think this actually might scare them a bit. Good. It's my motivation. It should. I realized it's harder on you emotionally to be weak. To be weak when they have insults against you and you hear them and you believe them too because they're true. And seeing those weaknesses in myself made me feel like I need to ensure I become the greatest version of myself I possibly can. I must dedicate my life to achievement so that if anyone, again, tries to say those things, I never in my heart agree with them. I must become better and begin now.